Hello everyone, welcome to today's session. Today we are going to discuss about the most top topic of Budget 2020, that is new tax regime versus old tax regime and how will it impact salaried individuals. Before the budget has come, everyone was talking about the expected changes in the budget rate, expected changes in the income tax slab rate. When our finance minister Sitaraman introduced the optional slab rate, somehow people are confused either to switch to the new tax regime or stick to the old one. So to discuss all these points with us, we have CEO of Tax2Win CA Abhishek Soni and Operations Head CA Kamal Murarka with us. Welcome sir.
Thank you.
Sir, my first question is to you Abhishek sir. What is in the new tax regime for our taxpayers? How is it different from the old one?
So with the introduction of Budget 2020 Nana, now we have two options to choose our income tax slab rates. So earlier there were only 4 slab rates in our existing tax regime, and with the introduction of new tax regime, the government has now introduced altogether new tax slab rates. In that slab rate there are total 7 slabs which we can opt for. So in earlier tax slab, there were the 4 slabs were up to 2,50,000 there was no tax payable. From 2,50,000 to 5 lakh, 5% tax rate was there, and 5 to 10 lakh 20%, and above 10 lakh 30% tax rate was there. Now in the current tax slab, which is optional, now we have 7 slabs. Up to 2,50,000 there is no tax. From 2,50,000 to 5 lakh the tax rate is 5%. 5 to 7.5 lakh it is 10%. 7.5 to 10 lakhs it is 15%, and 10 lakh to 12 lakh 50,000 it is 20%, and 12 lakh 50,000 to 15 lakh 25%, and above 15 lakh it is 30%. And apart from these 2 different tax slab rates, you cannot the age-wise restriction which was there in earlier tax slab rates, like senior citizen or super senior citizens, there was different slabs for them. In this current tax regime, these restrictions have been removed, which means now people of any age can opt for these tax slab rates, and NRIs as well can go for the new tax slab rates. The major difference in the both tax regimes is earlier you were allowed to take certain exemptions and deductions like HRA, LTA, ATC, ATD. In the current tax regime, you cannot take all these deductions. Almost 70 deductions, such deductions have been removed in the new tax slab rates.
Okay. So that means that now every individual will have 2 options. Either they can stick to the new existing slab rate, or they can switch to the new one.
Yes.
Kamal sir, I would like to ask what are the exemptions that will not be there in the new tax regime? Because I have also heard that government has snatched so many exemptions and deductions, as Abhishek sir has also said. So what are those deductions that a person cannot claim in new tax regime?
Well, there is very long list. The few deductions and exemptions will not be available in the new tax regime. Well, let me tell to the audience, and we can discuss also. Every year budget comes and goes. Goes means all the taxpayers and professionals are able to analyze the budget. What will be the impact? What will be the saving in my hands? What tax I will save. But this time they have done this change so technically, so we need to compare the effects. For example, many deductions and exemptions will not be available in the new tax regime. For example, HRA. Earlier, the persons which are living in the rented house, paying the rent to the landlord and getting the HRA from the employer. In such a case, HRA exemptions will be available. So this HRA will not be available in the new tax regime. Similar is the case with the LTA. Earlier, persons traveling across the India and getting the LTA from the employer were eligible for the tax benefit, but in the new optional tax regime, LTA tax exemptions will not be there. And the big change, all my friends please note this, the big change, ATC deduction. ATC deduction of rupees 1.5 lakh is available. We almost all the salary class persons is availing this benefit. For example, if you are making the investment in PF, PPF, school fees of the children, life insurance premium, specified mutual funds, then 1.5 lakh deduction is eligible under section 80C. But in the new tax regime, this deduction will not be available, so you cannot claim the benefit on the 80C eligible items. Similar is the case with the 80D deduction medical insurance premium. Now if you are going with the new optional tax regime, the medical insurance premium tax benefit will not be available as per section 80D, and all the deductions, for example, you are making the donations and eligible for the donations as per section 80G. If you have taken the education loan and were eligible for the payment of education loan, you were eligible under section 80E. So all these deductions will not be available in the new tax regime. So if you are opting for the new tax regime, you have to forego all these tax benefits. And Nena and Abhishek, I think this is most important, home loan interest. Earlier, suppose you have taken the house and taken the loan from the bank, and if you are making the payment of interest against this home loan, then you were eligible for the 2 lakh interest repayment. So this 2 lakh will reduce your salary income, but as per the new tax regime, this benefit will not be available. If I can explain you this with the help of one example, suppose someone have the gross salary income of rupees 8 lakh and he is making the repayment of home loan, so he is making the payment of rupees 2 lakh as a interest. So the taxable salary will be rupees 8 lakh minus 2 lakh will be rupees 6 lakh. So he need to pay the tax on rupees 6 lakh. But now if you are going to the new tax regime, then you have to pay the tax on rupees 8 lakh. This 2 lakh rupees set off will not be available for you.
So in short, I can assume that in the new tax regime, all the main exemptions and deductions are not there for a tax.
So if I have to summarize it from a salaried guy, normal salaried guy, all the deductions, all the exemptions that he has been taking till now in his tax returns. Now he has two options: either deduct that amount from his taxable salary and pay the tax on the taxable income, or simply calculate tax on the gross amount of the salary, that is, which comes in the column number 1 of your form 16.
Yes, exactly.
Yes,
I was thinking about. I would also like to ask, as I know, government has taken mostly exemptions and deductions.
True.
So are there any of the deductions and exemptions that are still left for a taxpayer? Because I'm not aware about if there are any.
Well, Lena, I will say most of the deductions and exemptions has been withdrawn by the government. Still, there are few receipts which are not withdrawn. Means you can further continue with the tax benefits. For example, if you are receiving the life insurance proceeds, lump sum, the amount which we are receiving, that still will be exempt in the hands of the receiver. Similar is the case with the PPF receipts. If you are receiving your PPF lump sum amount after it is getting matured, this amount will remain exempt. Means here two things we can consider. If you are making the payment for the PPF investment, this will not be eligible for the purpose of section 80C in the new tax regime. But at the same time, if you are receiving this money back after the maturity period, this will be exempt. There will be no tax levied even if you are going with the new tax regime. So your PPF receipt, the amount which you are receiving from your gratuity fund, NPS withdrawals, PF withdrawals, leave encashment withdrawals, Sukanya Samriddhi scheme withdrawals, all these withdrawals will remain tax free. There will be no tax levied even if you are going with the new tax regime.
Okay.
So I think these are mainly focused towards the maturity proceeds. Those kind of exemptions have been covered under the new tax regime.
Yes. At least there are few exemptions that we still claim.
See, mostly these are those exemptions people have been, investing their amount in life insurance, their PPF, and then gratuity, right?
Yeah.
So now all the exemptions that if you observe, they all are the maturity proceeds.
Most of the common exemptions are not there right now.
Yes.
But key point which is to be note, when you are making the payment, when you are making the investment, you will not be eligible for the purpose of section 80C. But when you are receiving the lump sum proceeds, then tax benefit will be available.
Okay, sir, I have observed one thing people are quite confused between that 5 lakh slab, because somewhere we are saying ki up to 2.5 lakh you will have to pay no tax, and somewhere we are also saying ki up to 5 lakh there is no tax. So we'll have to pay tax between 2.5 lakh to 5 lakh. Like, what's the slab rate? I'm not understanding properly.
I think after this budget, I think Abhishek will agree with me. We have received lots of query on this.
Yeah.
That what will happen
Exactly,
if income is rupees 5 lakh? Income is rupees 5 lakh. Friends, let me tell you, if your total taxable income is up to rupees 5 lakh, then there will be no tax. Either you are going for the new tax regime or you are going with the old tax regime. So if your total taxable income is up to rupees 5 lakh, feel relaxed, there will be no tax on you. If your income exceeds rupees 5 lakh, then the rate of tax of 5% will be applicable on the income from rupees 2.5 lakh to 5 lakh.
Oh.
So if your total taxable income is up to rupees 5 lakh, आप चैन की सांस ले सकते हो, there will be no tax.
थैंक यू सो मच सर, क्योंकि ये एक ऐसा क्वेश्चन था ना, काफी हमारे पास जो हमारे क्वेरीज वगैरह आती है ना, उसमें भी काफी लोगों ने ये पूछा। इसके अलावा अभी we have cleared ki what is new tax regime, what is in the old tax regime, and what are all the exemptions and deductions. One thing that we want to ask, everyone wants to ask कि which tax slab is better for us, क्योंकि कहीं ना कहीं सारी चीजें पता होने के बाद भी अब ऑप्शन अवेलेबल है, तो which one we'll have to choose.
So to understand which tax slab would be better for you, I have just noted down few use cases that you can see on the screen.
Yeah.
So if you are having your gross income up to 5 lakh, as Kamal mentioned, there is no impact of new regime or old regime. You can choose in any regime. Now, if I take example number 2, if you are having your gross income 5,50,000, so in the existing tax regime and in the new tax regime, in this case, old regime would be better, because out of 5,50,000, 50,000 you will get the standard deduction, so resulting in your taxable income to be 5 lakh rupees. And as per new tax regime, your income will be counted as 5,50,000. So on that income, you need to pay tax of 18,200. So any which ways, 5 lakh, if you are having an income up to rupees 5,50,000, I would say go for the existing tax regime. Let's take another example. If you are a salaried employee, your salary is 6 lakh per annum. Now, in the existing tax regime, from 6 lakhs you will get a standard deduction. Again, your taxable salary would come to 5,50,000, while in the new tax regime it will be 6 lakh. Tax would be 23,400 and 23,400. So I can conclude here that if you are earning up to 6 lakh rupees, existing tax structure is better, or it is not making any difference whether you go for the existing one or the newer one.
Okay, so in case of someone's having the salary income of rupees 6 lakh, so he can go with either.
Yes.
There will be no impact.
There will be no impact. Even if point to be noted is, even if he is not having any deduction or exemptions.
Okay.
So I'll elaborate on this further, because most people fall under these tax slabs. If I am a salaried employee, my salary is 6 lakh per annum, I am earning 50,000 per month. Now I am not making any deduction, I am not availing any exemptions like HRA or LTA or whatsoever, right? So even in that scenario, I can go for any tax regime. It's kind of a break-even point salary of those guys who are earning 6 lakh per annum. In both cases, tax payable would be 23,400, right? So if I take case number 4, if I am having salary of 7 lakh, and again I will get a standard deduction of 50,000. Now here I am assuming that I have ATC, ATD of 1 lakh and HRA of 50,000. Reason being, most people falling under this salary rate, Kamal. If I am earning 7 lakh, I will have my ATC deduction. I will any which ways not be in a case where I am not have been availing till now any kind of ATC or ATD. Agar 7 lakh salary, I will definitely go to the HR and say where is my HRA, because I will get a tax break from there, right?
Right.
So any which ways, more than, I believe in my experience, more than 99% people, 95% people would be availing HRA and ATC of 1 lakh rupees. So if I take that case, my taxable salary amount would come to 5 lakh rupees, and in new tax slab rate it come to 7 lakh rupees. Obviously you can see old tax slab rate is better, because up to 5 lakh I don't need to pay any tax. and while in the new tax regime I need to pay 33,800 as a tax. So in the same case, if I am not availing any exemptions or deductions come like 1 lakh or 1,50,000, then I have to pay a 44,200 rupees example where I am earning 8 lakh rupees of salary every year. So in my existing tax regime, if I am taking deductions of ATC, ATD and all these exemptions to 1,50,000, and HRA again I am taking the same amount, 50,000 being very practical, my taxable salary come to 5,50,000 in the existing tax regime, and in the new tax regime it is plain 8 lakh. You can see 23,400 is the tax which I need to pay as per existing tax regime, and 46,800 in my new tax regime. So again, my old regime or my existing tax regime is a better option any which ways to go for me. And if I'm not taking any sort of deduction, then my tax outgo would come to 65,000. So in that scenario, I have to go for the newer tax regime. Let's take another case. If I am having 10 lakhs of salary and I am taking ATC ATD of 1,50,000 and HRA of 50,000, then my tax outgoes under both regimes come to 65,000 and 78,000 respectively. Again, the existing tax regime or the old tax regime is the better for me. Coming to the higher salary bracket people who are earning 15 lakh per annum their salary and availing ATC ATD of 1,50,000, HRA amount is 75,000, and some LT component, a very small component of LTA which is 20,000. Now if I compare, so again if you have observed, I have taken all these exemptions, Kamal, if you observe, ATC, ATD, HRA and LTA, all these are very practical figures.
Yes,
I have taken because a guy who is earning more than a lakh per month, LTA he must be having in his salary component, and obviously. HRA is very obvious to have this component. So my taxable salary under both these cases come to 12,05,000 and 15 lakh, and tax outgo comes to 1,80,000 and 1,95,000 respectively. Again, the existing tax regime structure is better for me. And
okay. So can I conclude, the more and more you have the specified investments, eligible deductions or eligible exemptions, you will be beneficial in the old tax regime.
Yes.
And the lower the amount of deductions and exemptions, you will be beneficial in the new optional tax regime.
Absolutely true. So there is one more table you can see on your screens. We have prepared a deductions break-even table so as to make the calculations easier for you.
Friends, this is the crux, means you can directly relate your salary income and your deductions and exemptions and which scheme will be beneficial for you. So you can correlate from here.
Yeah. So here are the gross annual income. If I am having 5, 6, 7, 8, so this table goes up to 20 lakhs of salary income. So if I am a guy who is earning 8 lakhs of annual salary and I am claiming deductions of 1,38,000, then this is a break-even point for me. Break-even means whether I opt for the new regime or I go for a existing tax regime, it will not make any difference for me. If I am a guy earning say 15 lakh rupees and my deductions are including exemptions are 2,50,000, then again I can go for the any tax regime. It will not make any difference for me. If the deduction amount is higher, then the old scheme would be better. If deduction amount is lower than this, then the new tax regime would be better. So in our previous example also we have discussed the 15 lakh case, but if my deductions are coming to approximately 3 lakh rupees, so old tax regime was better for me. If there would have been no deductions, then new tax regime would be better for me. So you can quickly run through this table. What you just need to do, you just need to total that exemptions and deductions column of your form 16 and compare with this deductions claim amount. If that amount is compared amount is higher, then old rates would be better for old tax slabs would be better for you. If that amount is coming lower than this amount, then the new tax regime would be better for you.
Okay, thank you so much, Abhishek sir, for explaining every table in so detail that we got it. Our next question is the taxation was already so complicated in the minds of the users. So why the government has introduced an optional slab rate? I don't think, personally, I don't think so. There was any want. We don't want any optional slab rate. So is it a good option or is it making things more complicated in the minds of the user?
Basically, Nena, in my view, there are two reasons for this. First, government want to simplify the process of ITR. So, adding all these deductions and exemptions. So here government wants to very simplify the ITR. So your net salary income will be taxable. You just need to calculate the tax as per the new optional slab rate. So I think on this approach they have introduced this.
So apart from that, there is one more point also. So the government's target is to add as much as taxpayers into the system, right?
Yeah.
So as per the existing mindset, you have to take it from a perspective of the young people, the new taxpayers, new guys. Those are coming up, maybe the IT company guys, the BPO guys, the engineers, all these guys. Who have just joined in their new jobs and they are earning 40,000-50,000 per month of salary. So the most people are coming under this bracket only up to 5, 6 or maximum 6-7 lakhs rupees, right? So they were having this perspective in mind कि tax file करना तो बहुत ज़्यादा वो है. So exemptions है, deductions है, they need to do lot of maths, right?
Yeah.
So to make this math simple, government told that the maths is not so complicated. Just pay the tax on the on your total amount, and these are the slabs you need to apply. So this could also be one of the reasons that government wanted to motivate these kind of people to come forward and file their taxes.
Okay, thank you. एक और बात जो मैं यहाँ पे पूछना चाहूँगी कि is there any calculator or anything that we can provide to the like taxpayers so that they can make it in a very simplified way कि which slab they
so
can
there
choose.
is a calculator which will the users will get with their thank you emails. They can go and enter their amount and they can calculate their impact of this new tax regime on that.
Okay. And is there any impact that will be on the our salaried individuals, because we are making this session especially for our salaried individuals and we have a tax session like expert panel with us. So I would like to ask the impact on the salaried individuals of these changes of the budget.
See, if I have to or talk about the impact this budget has put on the salaried people. So one thing that we can do, we can quickly run through the maths. We have already did this just couple of minutes back. You just go and enter amount and check which amount would be better for that. So this is one impact. You need to decide which this tax regime is beneficial for you to go for new or old basis. The tax payable is coming on your salary after allowing all your deductions and exemptions. Second thing that has put impact is in terms of your financial goals, I would rather say. Now you need to prioritize whether you want to go for a long-term investment or long-term planning kind of thing, or you want to manage your cash outflow of your existing period of the aaj ki date ka, if I have to simplify it. So now you have to decide amongst it, because if I am earning 7 lakh or 7,50,000 of salary, right? So either I opt for the new tax regime because I want the cash liquidity right now,
Okay.
or I want to save some amount for my future, and also manage my tax outgo of today's terms in today's terms. So this is the impact every individual have to ascertain and decide basis his financial goals of the long term.
Okay, thank you so much, Abhishek.
Kamal, you have anything to add up here?
No, I think all the points have already been covered.
Okay, now we'll be covering all the questions that we got from our audience, because our audience is asking us so many questions, and we have also collected some common questions from our normal customers.
I can see a lot of live questions, so we can pick.
So we can just pick some
not possible
questions.
to take all of them because a lot of questions are there, as I can see on the
but
screen.
definitely we'll be covering few important questions, and I hope so audience
Sure.
will also enjoy this. The first question that is coming is interest from bank account allowed under new regime?
See, Nena, earlier if you are earning the interest from the saving bank account, then deduction under section 80 TTA is available up to rupees 10,000. But if you are opting for the new tax regime, this benefit will not be available.
So savings bank interest is also not available.
Yes.
You need to note here. Yes.
Okay, saving bank interest will
Which
not
was, I think, 2 years back only government introduced.
Yes.
Up to 10,000 deduction was allowed for the interest income on savings bank. So that is also not there now in the new tax regime.
Okay, and sir, someone is also asking ki is standard deduction of rupees 15,000 is applicable under new regime or not?
No. Friends, standard deduction of rupees 50,000 will also, this benefit will also be not available in the new tax regime.
Okay. And next question is, my income is rupees 10 lakh. Which slab would be better for me?
See, if your income is rupees 10 lakh, then you can check the table. If you are having the deductions and exemptions more than 1.87 lakh.
Okay.
So if you have the deductions more than this amount, you will be beneficial under the existing slab rate. And if your deductions and exemptions below rupees 1.87 lakh, then it's better for you to go with the new tax slab rate.
Okay, thank you, sir. Next question is, from where can I get the option for selecting either the old tax regime or new tax regime?
I think in the ITR form, which will be released, I think in the in the April month. So
Okay.
you will have the option to choose that for which option you want to avail. So you need to tick on that one in the ITR form.
But Kamal, this would be applicable for 1920 or 2021?
It will be applicable from 2021.
2021.
So for this year means the next ITR which you are going to file, do not get confused. All these things will not be applicable on this ITR. This will be applicable on the ITR of FY 2021.
Okay.
So for the current year, I am saving myself for existing tax regime.
Yes, you have the only one option.
Another question is, my total income is 4,80,000. Should I require to pay income tax?
Feel free, feel relaxed. Up to rupees 5 lakh, there is no tax.
Okay.
Oh, thank God. जिनका भी question था बच गया फिलहाल तो.
So in fact, I would rather say, up to 5,50,000, I would say there is no tax.
Yes,
Because
yes,
what I will do, I will go for the older tax regime,
Yeah.
right?
Right,
If you have
right.
seen my table, that 5,50,000, I get a standard deduction of 50,000, then I come to 5 lakhs, and this taxable income, no
Yes,
tax.
yes.
So I would say, up to 5,50,000, there is no tax.
Okay, this is a good. Now another question is, sir ये मेरा भी personal question लग रहा है मुझे. Will I get the home loan benefit in the new tax regime?
फ्रेंड्स, ये मैंने आपको पहले भी थोड़ा एक्सप्लेन किया था. यदि आप इफ यू आर लिविंग इन द सेल्फ ऑक्यूपाइड हाउस एंड यू आर मेकिंग द पेमेंट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट ऑफ योर होम लोन, earlier 2 lakh rupees deductions was available in the old tax regime, but this deduction of rupees 2 lakh will not be available in the new tax regime. One point I would like to add, if your house is rented house, means you are earning the rental income, then in such case the interest repayment to the bank will be eligible for the purpose of deduction from the rental income. But suppose if you are paying the interest amount higher as compared to the rental income, then this loss will not be set off from any other head of income. For example, if you are receiving the rent of rupees 5 lakh and you are making the interest payment of rupees 8 lakh, so here it is, for example, it will be a loss of rupees 3 lakh. So in the old tax regime, 2 lakh set-off will be allowed from your other sources of income, like for example salary income. But in the new tax regime, this set-off will not be allowed. So I will suggest you need to decide, you need to compare your tax as per the old tax regime and as per the new tax regime, and go with the one which is more beneficial for you.
Okay, sir, we got it. And another question is whether gratuity exemption or pension exemption is available in the new tax regime?
Yes. The proceeds from the gratuity fund, pension fund, all the exemptions will be continued.
Okay.
You can avail the exemptions.
And sir, there is a senior citizen. He is asking what would be the basic exemption limit for me in the new tax regime?
Yes, I think Abhishek, this is the main twist point. For the senior citizens and very senior citizens, as per the old tax slab rates, persons age more than 60, उनके लिए 3 लाख रुपए तक कोई टैक्स नहीं है, and persons having the age of 80 plus, there is no tax on rupees 5 lakh. But as per the new tax slab rate, the basic exemption limit is same even for senior citizens and very senior citizens. The basic exemption limit is 5 lakh only. So higher basic exemption limit will not be available in the new tax regime.
So the new slabs are irrespective of age limits now.
Yes, right.
Okay. And the next question is HRA exemption will not be available under the new regime then can I claim benefit of rent paid under the section 80GG?
No. All the deductions are not available in the new tax regime. So you even cannot claim the benefit under section 80GG also.
So whatever deductions and exemptions you were feeling like that, oh yes, ये लेके मैं पैसे बचा लूँगा, tax
That we
बचा
are going
लूँगा,
to take now.
they are not there now. Whatever deductions and exemptions they were there that you were not aware of till now, they are there.
Oh, this is the point. So, sir, is there any change in the rates of surcharge in the new tax
No,
regime?
there is no change in the rate of surcharge. Rate of surcharge are same.
Still the same.
Yes.
Okay. And sir, whether cess be applicable under the new regime?
Yes. This is also same in the old as well as new regime.
Okay, in both the conditions, we'll have to pay the cess.
Yes, at the rate of
And
4%.
rate is same.
Yes, rate is also same.
Okay, sir. And whether conveyance reimbursement or visits to client place are taxable or exempt under old and new regime?
No. It is also exempt. Any expenditure which you are incurring for the purpose of your office meeting to perform the office duties, all these, I will say, these all are reimbursement of the expenses, and these will not be taxed in your hands.
This is definitely a good news for all the persons.
Yes, all the daily allowances subject to the actual expenditure for the purpose of office. So all the DA, any traveling expenses, any conveyance expenses will remain exempt if you are incurring these expenses for the purpose of official meetings.
Okay, sir. Another question is whether advance tax is also payable in the new tax regime?
Yes. Advance tax provisions will remain same in the both regimes.
Okay. I'm 81 years of age. Can I claim deduction of FD interest received?
No. As per the existing regime, persons earning the rental, persons earning the interest income from the saving bank FDRs that are not taxable up to the limit of rupees 50,000. But this benefit will not be available in the new tax regime. So if you want to avail all these benefits, you need to calculate the tax as per the both approach.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
So apart from that, there is one more important aspect as well that I think the users must know. So since this is an optional scheme that government has introduced, you can opt for either this one or that one. So this option can be exercised on a year-on-year basis. So for example, if I have taken new tax regime in my current year, I can go for the older one in the next year. Probably I can go again back for the newer one in the subsequent year. So this is
yes. This is very big benefit. You can opt for the option 1. You can opt for the option 2. Means the approach which is more beneficial, you can change on year-to-year basis.
And if I am having business income, there was some twist here.
Yes.
If I am having a salary income and I am earning some freelancing income, or with salary I am having a small kind of business setup and I am earning from there as well. And in my tax return I am showing my salary income and a business income. So in that scenario, I think you can change this switch between the old and new regimes only once.
Only once, yes.
So if I am opting for new tax regime,
you have to continue with the new tax regime only.
But I can switch in.
Yes, if you switch, then you cannot come back. Come
back. So technically, I have two lifelines.
Yes. Right.
Next year, if I am filing my return, this provision is for those people who are having income from salary plus having some freelancing or some sort of business income, or who are having only business income in their tax return. So they can go for new tax regime in the coming year, and they can continue to do so. And if they want to switch back to old regime, they can switch, but this option is available only for one time. So if they have switched after 2 years, then they have to continue with the old regime only.
They cannot go back in the new tax regime.
I do not understand the logic till now behind it.
I think over the time these things will come, but I think they want to simplify all these cases for the salary class persons only.
Yeah, probably. So there was one more query I remember. So if I am having my salary income and if I have some share market gains or mutual fund gain, so that is like I have to treat that as a capital gain. So in that scenario, how we are going to tackle it?
See, it depends. Sometimes if you are dealing in the F&Os, then in such a case, sometimes depending upon the number of transactions, volume, frequency, etc., sometimes your income is considered as a business income. So
True.
if your income is considered as a business income, all the provisions of business income means then it will not be open for you to select either one approach.
Okay.
In case of only salary income, you are free to choose any approach on year-to-year basis. But if you have the business income also, then you need to select only one approach only.
So in case of that business income, as I said, I have that option only that I can exercise only once.
Yes.
To lifeline wali thing, right?
Right.
So here we have covered all the common questions that we got from our audience. Thank you so much, Abhishek sir, Kamal sir, for being here with us. It was pleasure talking to you. And for our users, I just want to say one thing.
I think there are a lot of unanswered questions as well.
I can see one query on my system, and I think it's very important.
Yeah.
80CCD2 means if your employer is contributing in the NPS on your behalf, then this deduction was available as per the existing regime, and this benefit will also be available in the new tax regime also.
Okay.
So if your employer is making the NPS on your behalf, then tax benefit will be available in the new scheme also.
Okay.
So you can continue with this benefit.
Okay, thank you sir for this last minute knowledge also. And for our viewers, I would like to say one thing. Choose your income tax slab wisely and file your income tax return wisely, because this is one thing that you will have to care about. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And for all the unanswered questions, I think our team is reverting real time, and all the questions would be answered.
You will get all the answers in the chat box.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.